You've probably seen these ads lately. People doing sports, drinking non-alcoholic beer, and then magically reach isotonicity, electrolytes, and vitamins. But is it really that healthy, or just a good sales pitch? What can alcohol-free beer really do? Let's start with the basics. What is non-alcoholic beer anyway? Legally speaking, it's beer with a maximum of 0.5% alcohol. So technically, it's not even out. There are also beers with 0.0% alcohol. They just use different processes. Non-alcoholic beer stops fermentation earlier so that less alcohol is produced. 0.0% beer is dealcoholized, meaning that the alcohol is removed after fermentation. So what's actually in the stuff? It has water, malt, hops, and yeast. Basically the same ingredients as regular beer. And like regular beer, it may contain additives. In some countries, non-alcoholic beer is brewed with special malts or adjuncts to give it a fuller flavor. In many countries, however, non-alcoholic beer is not legally required to differ in any way from regular beer except for the alcohol content. What is different though is that it contains electrolytes such as potassium and magnesium and is a good source of B vitamins. It also contains polyphenols and other antioxidants, which are mostly contained in the hops. Interestingly, a study by the Technical University of Munich showed that non-alcoholic beer contains more antioxidants than many commercial isotonic drinks. Another important difference is that non-alcoholic beer generally contains fewer calories than regular beer because the alcohol is either not created or removed later. But many beers without alcohol have one major drawback. They contain a lot of sugar. This can be problematic if you're following an intensive diet, so pay attention to the sugar content. Despite this, several studies have shown that non-alcoholic beer can be beneficial after endurance exercise. A study from 2009 found that non-alcoholic beer can reduce inflammation after running a marathon. Another study conducted in 2012 found that non-alcoholic beer can reduce infections in athletes. It seems that certain components of beer, even without alcohol, can help the immune system recover after a strenuous endurance event. And finally, a recent study showed that the antioxidant effect of non-alcoholic beer is similar to that of commercial isotonic drinks. So it may not be a miracle cure, but it's definitely better than Coke or juice. However, it makes sense to drink non-alcoholic beer after endurance exercise, especially if you don't want alcohol. It can be a good alternative to a sports drink, especially in hot weather, as it can help you rehydrate and replenish your electrolyte balance. It's also a good option in social situations where you don't want to drink alcohol. It can be difficult to avoid alcohol in social situations, especially if you're not a tea. However, it may be useful in such situations to have a non-alcoholic beer in your fridge. If you're following an intensive diet, however, you should be careful when drinking non-alcoholic beer. Even though it may be low in calories, it may still contain a lot of carbohydrates. Also, if you're exercising, you shouldn't drink too much of it because it will make you bloated. Finally, let's talk about the term sports beer. Often it's just a marketing term and not a protected designation. Only a few varieties contain added vitamins and minerals, while others do not. So always check the nutritional information. In conclusion, non-alcoholic beer is okay, but it's a good alternative to regular beer or soda, especially after endurance exercise. But it won't make you fitter or improve your performance. If you enjoy it in moderation, it's great. Just remember, it's still beer though. It's just the healthiest form of it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.